Afternoon with K-Side Press, and I'm here with the eternal MMA flyweight champ, Steve Erceg. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be talking with you. Kind of talked about it right now, but you're a hard man to get a hold of. Is there a reason that you don't have a lot of social media?
There's no reason. I just don't like social media very much, to be honest. I try to do it a little bit to sort of help market myself, but I'm not only bad at it, I don't like it very much.
Understandable. There's a bunch of assholes on social media.
Yeah, there's sure a lot of keyboard heroes and warriors and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask about your nickname, Astro Boy, but then I saw in another interview that it's basically your coach just made it up randomly.
It's a super interesting story. It just sort of happened. Yeah, it's yeah, not very not very much to it. Yeah.
um, Before we talk about your most recent title defense, I wanted to talk about your fight with Cody. I think it's a contender for fight of the year. More people need to watch it because, man, you guys went to war. Um, how did you feel about that performance?
I thought at the time I was happy with a lot of parts of the performance. Like I thought my striking was pretty good. I was like he was known for his boxing. I thought I was making him miss well and that sort of thing is in the first round mostly. I got the takedowns. And the part I was most disappointed by was his ability to get up and the fact that I couldn't consolidate those positions. So that was the biggest thing I was looking to sort of fix moving on. And then the second round, he showed that he's a true warrior, that sort of stuff. I gassed my arms in the first and I was trying to figure out how I was going to get through the rest of the fight, to be honest. And so, yeah, I went to my wrestling where I thought I could start making the fight the hardest for him. And yeah, we both got exhausted and it was just who wanted it more. Looking back on it now, I'm not disgusted, but I look back at it now, like, oh my Lord, I'm so bad. So many things I'm better at now and so many things I still need to improve on. So yeah, that's sort of my view on the fight.
Well, you might be disgusted, but I think it was a tremendous fight from an outside perspective.
No, it was definitely a fun fight. They're the fights that you enjoy, like you're happy when you finish people quickly and stuff like that. But when you look back on those types of fights, like you get a good feeling about it, like you earned a victory or you really find out a lot about yourself, and they're the ones that mean the most.
Yeah, no, totally. And you were fighting a young kid who was trying to make a name off of you, and man, it was just fantastic.
Yeah. No, you couldn't ask for anything more. He was yeah, definitely super tough and very skillful and yeah, made for a great contest.
So then you returned 4 months later to defend your flyweight title at Eternal 62, which you won via first round submission. How did you feel about that performance?
Yeah, that was good. I think I said it before the fight. It was a bit odd. I don't know. I usually am more nervous for fights, and I don't know. I was a little bit more calm, and that was sort of unsettling. I was worried I wasn't maybe taking it seriously enough, or I didn't know what was going on. But sort of moved on with it. Got in the cage, and yeah, basically went how I expected it to go. He came out. He was very aggressive, and that sort of just pushed him into the clinch. I thought the only way he could really win was to knock me out in the first 3 minutes, and then after that, he was going to be a little bit too tired to carry that power on. So just taxed his arms out, and then yeah, as I threw a strike, he sort of stumbled. I grabbed his neck, and it was all over. Yeah.
You said that you get nervous before fights. Do
Yeah.
you get nervous before all of your fights?
Yeah, I'm a lot better now than I used to be. So when I first started, like the first 2 years of fighting, I was trying to not vomit for the fight, before the fight and after the fight. But now I'm still super nervous, but yeah, I don't have to hold back any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, but I think if you're not nervous, you're probably not taking it seriously enough anyway, or you're crazy. That's another possibility.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are fighting in a steel cage, so I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I guess so.
um, awesome. Well, so for people who don't know your story, what was your journey in the mixed martial arts?
Yeah, so I started training after I watched Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir #1. So I was a big WWE fan when I was younger, and like the way they promoted his entrance into the cage was awesome. Like we had to make bigger gloves for him. Like XL wasn't big enough, double XL, and just the way they brought it in was so cool. I was like, I don't know how anybody's gonna beat this guy. He's 206, like cutting to 265. The other guy's what 240. There's no way he gets beat. And then sure enough, he gets to the fight and he starts mollywopping this dude. And I'm just thinking, wow, this is so cool. And then the small guy grabs his leg and then twists on it. And then Brock Lesnar had to tap. And I was like, I don't know what just happened, but I need to learn what that little guy did. And so basically from there, I talked to my dad. He took me to a MMA gym. And I don't think he was quite realized what I meant by I wanted to do MMA. I think he thought I just wanted to train martial arts. So we sort of went to a martial arts gym, which actually turns out to be the same gym I'm still fighting out of. It just, the head coach was a Muay Thai guy, David Wilkes. And when I said that I wanted to fight, he went, oh, well, if you want to fight, I can hold pads for you, that sort of stuff. So he started coaching me. And then, as it sort of progressed, I've done better. He's obviously super passionate about it as well. So is my dad. And we sort of molded the gym to become more of a fight gym as well. So we still have the martial arts side, but we've created a side where there's a lot more competitive atmosphere as well. So, it sort of worked out really well. And I'm with all the people that helped me start. So it's pretty special.
Awesome. So you're still with everybody.
Sorry?
So you're still with everybody that you came up with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. You said you're a big WWE fan. Who are some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
My favorite, without a doubt, was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was, I loved everything about what he did. Obviously, The Rock was cool. I like Shawn Michaels, Rey Mysterio. They were probably up with my favorites.
Do you still watch today?
Nah, not really. Every now and then it'll pop up and I might try to watch it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm older or whether the characters don't seem as appealing, but I just don't get into it the same way anymore.
I'm 100% with you. I loved it. I loved it. And now it's just like, it's just like, it's just not magical as it was once was. I wanted to ask your opinion on the state of Australian MMA and I guess just in MMA as a whole, and then also the regional scene down there.
Okay. So when I started, it wasn't very big, and basically the reason for that was the cage ban. So we had the cage ban for a long time in WA, and I think it only became legal in like 2018 or something like that. So before that, I was fighting. We fought in a ring, but because there was no cage, I think a lot of people were like, oh, well, I won't do that then. I'll sort of take a different, I might box or whatever. And then as soon as the cage has sort of come into it, like Perth MMA is huge. It's heaps of people in all the weight divisions. And if you go to an event, there's heaps of people in the building. You go to like a pub and some guy will go, oh, you fight for Eternal. Like, I don't even know this dude, blah, blah. He doesn't seem like he's involved in fighting. So, Perth-wise, MMA seems huge at the moment. And as far as the talent in Australia, full stop, I think we've actually got some of the best talent in the world. Like, we don't have as many. Like, if you go to America, you're going to have 100 guys that are on the same level. But we've got 3 guys that can hang. You know what I mean? So there's less of the talent, but the talent that we do have is up there with some of the best in the world. And that was sort of made apparent by my opponent's fight with a guy who used to fight on One Championship. He looked like a good fighter, fought for a big promotion, and then our local guy went in there, put the pace on him for 3 rounds, and did really well. So I think Australian MMA is going very strong, and it's only getting bigger.
Awesome. Of course, Robert Whittaker is like. Do you consider him the face of Australian MMA?
I would have to say so. Him and Volkanovski for sure. But Australia and New Zealand seem so closely linked in everything. So you got Izzy, you got Dan Hooker, you got Jimmy Crute, obviously, you got him as well from Australia. So as far as the face of Aussie MMA, we almost treat the New Zealanders as one of us as well. So we got some strong representatives at the moment.
Who do you think is going to win the rematch between Robert and Izzy?
That's a hard one. I think if Whitaker mixes it up a little bit and enters into those takedowns, makes it a little bit messy, I think he has a good chance of winning. If he wants to make it completely striking, I think Izzy's range and IQ is a bit too good for that. So, I mean, I hope Whitaker wins just because he's the Australian boy and I love the way he carries himself and everything. Also love Izzy, but I hope Whitaker wins. But it'll be a close fight.
There's a big flyweight fight coming up this weekend between Kai Kara-France and Cody Garbrandt. What are your thoughts on that one?
I obviously want Kai Kara-France to win. I just don't think he will. I have a very high opinion of Garbrandt and his boxing. I think Garbrandt's going to win, but we're going to find out exactly the disparity between bantamweight and flyweight skill in this fight, I think. Because everybody's super hyped about the bantamweight division, and the flyweight division doesn't have that same hype behind it. If Kai Kara-France comes in and whoops Garbrandt, it's like, man, we've got some of the best talent in our division now. So I'm very intrigued to watch the fight.
Do you cut a lot of weight to get down to flyweight?
No, I'm not. I cut a bit of weight, but I'm not a huge flyweight. I know most people I fight against cut more than I cut. So it's not fun to get there, but I could do it consistently. So
interesting. So looking forward to 2022. What's next, man? I think a lot of people could argue that you're ready to go straight to the UFC. Is that something that you would like to do, or do you want to go through the Contender Series? Do you want to do Bellator, PFL? Like what's the perfect situation for you?
Yeah, so I definitely want to fight in the UFC. That's where I think the best talent is, and if you want to be the best in the world, I think that's where you go. So I want to go to the UFC for sure. I would definitely prefer go straight to the UFC just because, like, you've got the contract, you're in the UFC, and you can start your journey straight away. But that being said, if it's the Contender Series first, like, I'm happy for that too. It's a great platform. People get to find out who you are before you actually fight in it, in the UFC. So obviously prefer get the contract straight away, but the Contender Series I'm also happy for. So that's what I'm that's what I'm hoping for next year. Yeah.
Has there been any conversations about you going to the UFC? Early conversations?
Yeah, I've heard some stuff from my manager talking with, I think it was Sean Shelby. I don't think, there's nothing confirmed or anything, but there's talks about potentially Contender Series or something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. And then, finally, I wanted to know your thoughts on the flyweight division in the UFC. For the longest time, not a lot of people cared about it because DJ just was so dominant, right? And now that there's new talent in the division, there's a lot more eyeballs on it, and there's these just these fun fights, these killers in the division. What are your thoughts on it?
I think the depth of the talent isn't super. Yeah, it's not there yet. The top 10 guys, great fighters. The top 10 isn't as strong as the top 10 at, let's say, bantamweight. The top 2 guys, I think, are very talented. And below the top 10, I think most people aren't very good. Not that they're not good, but they're not up to the level that they should be up to. And I think if I was to go over there, I think I would make waves pretty fast. That's what I think. I don't think it's at the level of all the other divisions at the moment, but it is getting there.
Is there a specific name that you would love your UFC debut to be against?
I haven't. There's not a name that I'd love the most. There is one guy, don't even know if he's still in the UFC at the moment, but there is one guy, Ryan Benoit, that I would like to fight eventually. I felt like he disrespected some Australians a while ago, and I'd like to get that back for all of Australia.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. You know what? I don't know if he's still in there or if he got cut.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen him in a while anyway.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for your time, man. It was so great to finally talk with you. If you want to plug any the only social media that you got, plug your
Yep.
sponsors. The floor is yours.
Cool. So my Instagram is @Erceg Steven. So if you guys want to follow me on that, that'd be greatly appreciated. My sponsors are Intrepid Sports Intrepid Sports. They handle all my gloves, shin guards, shorts, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, I'd like to thank Wilkes and Gladiator, all my gyms that I go to regularly, for helping me out, and all my coaches. Thank you very much.